Most people won't make it, not because they're weak, but because they're distracted. They're addicted to noise, praise, comfort, shortcuts. But if you're hearing this, you weren't built to fit in. You were built for fire, built for the dark grind that forges greatness. This video isn't for everyone. It's for the 1% who came to rise. There's too much noise. Everyone's talking, everyone's watching, everyone wants to be seen. They scream their goals into the void, hoping someone claps. They post every move, praying someone notices. They seek validation like oxygen, addicted to attention. But here's the truth, no one tells them. The loudest one in the room is usually the weakest. In a world obsessed with clout, silence is rebellion. Silence is power. Silence is protection. You scroll through highlight reels and flex videos, but behind most of them, there's no real foundation, just noise, just illusion, people talking more than they're building, people flexing more than they're executing. Why? Because it's easier to pretend you're winning than to actually win. It's easier to post a motivational quote than to wake up at 5 a.m. and live it. But not you. You didn't come here for likes. You came here to dominate. And that starts with one hard decision. Turn down the noise. Mute the outside world. Build in silence. Because when you're serious about growth, you don't have time for the crowd. Look around you, everyone's performing. They dress for attention, they speak for approval, they live for the comment section. But real warriors, they operate in the shadows. They don't chase noise. They chase greatness. They don't need to tell you what they're doing because their results will tell the whole story. You want real power? Stop broadcasting your goals. Start executing them relentlessly, privately, unapologetically. You don't need an audience to transform. You don't need a crowd to level up. You need silence. You need solitude. You need to get away from the noise long enough to hear your own thoughts. Because in the silence, you'll meet your real self, not the version the world wants. The version that's hungry, the version that's focused, the version that's capable of changing everything. Every real transformation begins in private, in the dark, in the quiet, with no likes, no comments, no applause, just decision and discipline. So, if the world doesn't hear from you for a while, let them wonder. If they don't see your posts, let them think you're gone. If they count you out, let them. Because behind the curtain, in the dark, in the quiet, you're becoming something terrifying. Not loud, not flashy, but unstoppable. And when you finally emerge, it'll be too late for them to catch up. You know, most people fear silence. They see it as a void, an emptiness. But the few who understand it, they know silence is sacred. Because silence doesn't mean absence, it means presence. When the world goes quiet, that's when clarity speaks. That's when real plans get made. That's when giants start moving. You don't build empires in the spotlight. You build them in silence. While they party, you plan. While they post, you prepare. While they flex, you focus. Silence strips away distraction. It forces you to sit with your goals, to stop pretending and start producing. That's why silence is terrifying to the average person. Because in silence, all your excuses die. There's nowhere to hide, just you and the truth. You don't need to announce your every move. You don't need to validate your dreams through other people's approval. That's the trap. The moment you speak your goal out loud to impress, you weaken it. Why? Because now you're chasing external energy, not internal fire. Silence is your fortress. Silence is your weapon. Silence is your edge. When you move in silence, there's no pressure to perform for others. You move for you. No applause? Good. No recognition? Perfect. Because that means no one's watching you prepare. And when they don't see you coming, they can't stop you. Before a tree touches the sky, its roots must conquer the dark. Your foundation is everything, but it can only be built in silence. You want a life that lasts, a victory that's real? Then go underground. Get quiet. Get deliberate. Build your roots deep in solitude, in silence, in self-mastery. Because when the storm comes, surface level success gets ripped away, but you'll stand tall because no one saw what you were building. No one heard the bricks stacking in the dark. No one noticed your discipline at 4 a.m., but they'll notice the results. And by then, it's too late. You already won. Silence is where beasts are born, where killers are crafted, where legacies are forged. Not in noise, not in crowds, in quiet. Because while others are shouting their goals, you're becoming your goals. The real ones, they're not loud, they're not flashy, they're not posting every step, they're just building day by day, quietly, deliberately. And when they speak, the world listens because their silence had weight. So stop announcing, stop explaining, stop performing. Let your silence scream, let your discipline speak, let your results do the talking. You don't need to be loud to be lethal, you just need to be focused. The power is in the silence. That's where the work happens. That's where you separate yourself. So let them underestimate you, let them sleep on you, let them scroll past you, because one day they'll realize you weren't quiet, you were calculating. Now comes the part no one wants to talk about, no one wants to post, no one wants to film. This is the part where you stack, not trophies, not claps, but discipline, skill, strength, vision, the things no one can steal. This is the stacking phase, the quiet grind, the hidden hours, the unglamorous mountain climb that separates kings from clowns. Every savage, every legend went through this phase, the chapter of life where nothing is guaranteed, where no one is clapping, where the only reward is another set, another rep, another page. This is where most people quit, because stacking doesn't feel sexy, it feels repetitive, isolating, monotonous. But the real ones, they learn to fall in love with the stack. They know success isn't built in a moment, it's built in silence, through layers, one painful layer at a time. You want to dominate. Then embrace boredom, embrace repetition, embrace the days that feel invisible, because those are the days your future self will thank you for. While they chase dopamine, you chase discipline. While they scroll through other people's lives, you're building yours. Stack early mornings, stack late nights, stack books, stack skills, stack clean meals, stack high standards, stack so much discipline in the dark that when the light finally hits, the world thinks it happened overnight. But you'll know it was brick by brick, hour by hour, choice by choice, day after day in the shadows. Most people fail because they keep starting over. Every time it gets hard, they pause. Every time it gets quiet, they distract themselves. Every time they don't get applause, they doubt the path. Not you. You're a builder, a silent machine, a future legend, still under construction. It's not what you do once that builds power. It's what you do every day when no one's watching. The stack never lies. The stack never skips. The stack remembers everything. You can't cheat it. You can't fake it. You either put in the reps or you stay average. Every day you show up, you widen the gap between you and them, between greatness and mediocrity, between where you were and where you're going. You're not stacking for today, you're stacking for the unseen future, a future version of you who's unrecognizable because you refused to quit on the invisible work. Your future is being paid for in silence, and every rep is a down payment. Let them laugh. Let them mock your routine. Let them call you obsessed. Because obsession builds empires and mediocrity builds regret. You're not here for average. You're not here to blend in. You're here to win, quietly, patiently, brutally. Stack it, day by day, choice by choice, with no audience, no congratulations, just you versus yesterday's you. And when it's time to rise, they'll ask how you did it. And all you'll say is, I never stopped stacking. You survived what would have crushed them. You stacked what they skipped. You bled in silence so you could roar in the open. Now the world will see the monster you built. This isn't motivation. This is a blueprint. Keep stacking, keep rising, because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more fire starters. And you were born for that. If this hit you like a bullet of truth, then don't keep it to yourself. Share this. Comment with if you're still standing. Hit that subscribe and stay locked in, because Rise and Inspire is only getting louder. You're not just watching, you're becoming. Welcome to the tribe.